Hello everyone, welcome back to paasolo creation video tutorial. In this video we are going to design this in Adobe Photoshop with nothing but a mouse and a few stock images. And please, if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe, hit the notification bell so you won't miss other interesting video like this. Alright, without further ado, let's dive into it. So first of all, go to File, New, under Print, select A4 and click on Create. A new document or canvas is going to open for you. Then we will start to build our background. So with the background, I'll choose a deep color like this, and with the help of my paint bucket tool, I'll just fill the background with the color and go back to my move tool. Then from here, I'm building the background, so I'll bring in the things that I need for the background. So I'll go to my stock images. Here are they, and please, I'll leave all of them in the description below. You can download them, follow along, and I will leave the almighty PSD file also in it. You can download them and edit to your own version, but I'll put all of them here and I'll add a password to it. So please watch to the end to get a password to open the PSD file or the WinRAR file so that you can get access to the PSD and the resource file. So at the end of the video, I'll just share the password. So please watch to the end and enjoy the password also. So you can see I'm typing the password, okay, and you can see everything is in. So I'll upload all of them and you can also upload and enjoy. Then I'll move my position them how I want it, something like this, and I'll increase or scale it a bit. Then I'll add a layer mask at the bottom. Click on it to add a layer mask, and with the help of my brush tool, search for it, or shortcut B, click on B for the brush tool, and I'll choose the soft round brush with 0 hardness and the size something like this. And I can use the square bracket to increase, the right square bracket to increase and the left square bracket to reduce its size. And I will start painting. You see that I'm trying to paint but it is not working. We paint black with white and white with black, so I'll just toggle with my foreground and paint with the black, and you see that. So from here I'll increase my brush again, reduce the opacity and brush along also to blend my background and the image together, something like this. Alright, so from here I'll change the blending mode of this to screen, and I'll reduce it to something like this. Okay. Alright, so from here I'll add a layer. You see the plus icon beneath here, click on it to add a layer. Then with a black color and with the help of my brush tool, I will paint just like this to have a nice effect, and I'll reduce the opacity a bit to have a nice effect like this. And if it is too much, you can reduce its hardness to get something like this. Alright, so from here I'll go back to my resource file, bring in this one, move it to Photoshop, and with the help of my rectangular marquee tool, I'll make a selection at the place I want to cut, and Ctrl J to make a copy, and I can hide the first one and move this one to my work like this, and I will increase or scale it to fill the whole space and move it all the way up like this. Alright, so after scaling, I'll add a layer mask to it, and with the help of my brush tool, I will blend this place in, something like this. Perfect. Alright, so from here you can see that we are almost through with our background. So with this layer selected, I will change the blending mode to lighting, and you see before, after. You see the difference? Okay, so we are building our background, and this is where you have gotten to. Then from there, I'll go back to my resource file, bring in my picture man, and then I'll make a selection. So you can select any of the selection too. For this case, I'll use quick selection and make a selection around the picture man like this. Alright, Ctrl J to make a duplicate of it, and I can move this one to my work, then scale it a bit like this and position it like this, and you can see that we have some white edges. The selection wasn't all that good, so I'll fast forward this part, make a good selection, and continue from here. Alright, so I took a time to go through it to make a perfect selection. And if you want to know more about selection and maxing or selecting image, I have a beginner's tutorial on it. I will leave the link in the description or in the card above, so please check it out, watch it, and you will be fine. Alright, so from here you can see that the background and the image is not all that matching, because the background is dark and the image seems to be too bright. So I'll add another layer with the plus icon, add a layer, and then with the help of my brush tool with black as a foreground, I will increase the brush size like this, reduce the opacity to somewhere 50, and I'll paint his face something like this to match the background a bit, reduce it a bit, and something like this is okay. Then go back to my move tool so I can see before, after. You see that we have matched him a little bit than the first. So let's go with the blending mode, change to multiply, and reduce the size a bit so that it won't look all that fake. So you can see before, after. So we have blended the background with the image to make it realistic. Alright, so from here we are going to add our text, but before then, create a new layer. Then create a new layer with your brush tool selected, pick a color like this, red type. I'll increase the opacity to full 100%. Click once on the board and I'll get something like this. I'll be in the move tool to have this so that I can move it around. Undo. Then from here, Ctrl T for free transform, and then I will reduce the size of the image, but I will hold shift. In some of the version you don't have to hold shift, you just have to just increase or decrease the size and it will be fine. But in 2020 2021 you have to hold shift so that you can get this effect. Something like this is okay, but I will increase it a bit and click on OK. So from here I'll make a duplicate so that I can get a bold color like this. I'll create a new layer again. Then I'll create a new layer again. Choose a color like this, yellow type, and also with the help of my brush tool, with opacity 100%, I'll just click once on the board and get effect like this. Then Ctrl T for free transform, or go to edit and you will see free transform, and you can scale our image down a bit like this. So let me increase the first one a bit so that I can increase this one also. Make Ctrl J to make a copy or duplicate to brighten it. So from here you can add our text, T for the text tool, or you can just click on it beneath the pen tool. Click once on the board and you can type your text. So I'll type only R, capital R, and I'll use this font. Please, I will leave a link in the description so that you can download the font and follow along easily. So from here I will increase the size of the font like this. You can use the character tool. If you don't have the character to go to window, select character and you have it. So with this effect, then I will change the color to white so that it can appear more. So something like this is okay. Then I'll add a shadow to it like this. So you can follow along by applying the same settings. The blending mode I chose multiply, opacity 49, distance 25, spread 2, size 2. Then click on OK, and from here I'll make a duplicate and type in I. Position it like this, but move it beneath the R so that it will be under the R, and make a duplicate of it. To make a duplicate, hold Alt, hover over the. To make a duplicate, select the text, hold Alt, drag over it. To make a duplicate, hold Shift to keep it proportional, otherwise it is going to move to other places, and we want the text to be in proportion, so we will hold Shift to keep it proportion and double click on it to change your text. I'll fast forward this part and come back when I'm done. Alright, so from here, after you have done typing all of your text, select all of them, select one, hold shift and select the others. Alright, like this. Then position them as you want it and reduce its size like this. Reduce the size. Alright, I'll position them as I want it. Then Ctrl G to group all of them so that I can just have all of them in one layer. So from here I'll move one of the orange color above them and change the blending mode to screen to have effect like this and increase its size. So you can take your time to toggle with it, choose what work for you best and you move along with it. Alright, so I'll add my theme, reduce the size of the text, and I'll use this font. And please, I'll leave the download link to download all this font for free in the description below, so please make sure you check them up so that you can download all these fonts for free. Alright, so I want to move my work down a little bit, so I'll select the theme, the color that I added later, and the group of the text and move it down a little like this to have enough space at the top so that I can work also there. So from here, with the help of my rectangle or ellipse tool, I'll draw a nice ellipse, holding shift to keep it proportion, scale it a bit to fit my preference, Ctrl J to make a duplicate of it, reduce the size of the new one and change the color of the first one to something like this but deep one. Okay, and change this color to orange type. Alright, then Ctrl J to make a duplicate, reduce the size of the new one again, and also change the fill to a light color, almost the same as this one. Then I'll select the second one, hold Ctrl, click on it to make a selection around it. Then I'll make a layer, I'll create a new layer and change my color to something like the same but a light one, and with the help of my brush tool, reduce the size of the brush with the left square bracket and paint something like this at the edge to give it this nice feel. Change the color to a different color like this, paint some beneath, and I'll also change the color and paint some like this here to get this nice looking shape for. So if you turn off the first one, you see that you have caused a lot of damage, but with that one over it, you can see you have done a perfect job. Select your move to select the last ellipse, hold Ctrl, click on it to make a selection, then create a new layer, choose a color near to this, hover over the color and you will get the color picker tool, click on it, choose a color of your choice, then with the help of your brush tool, increase your brush, reduce the opacity at the top and paint something like this. Increase the hardness, increase the opacity a bit, and paint to get a different feel. Alright, so when you are done, Ctrl D to deselect the selection, and we will get something like this. Alright, so from here, with the help of our text tool, you will type 2, give it a white fill, Radiate, and I'll leave the link in the description below to download this font. Alright, so please, I'll fast forward this part. Alright, so from here, with the help of my rectangle tool, I'll draw a nice rectangle like this. Select, change the color to something like this, then select your move tool, hold Alt, move over it to make a duplicate, and increase the size of the second one, extend the size of the second one like this. Then from here, Ctrl T for the free transform, or go to edit and select free transform. Right click over it and choose distort. Double click on it to distort your work. -26.9 like this, or -20.2 is okay. Click on OK. Then do the same thing for this. Ctrl T for free transform, right click and distort your image. Double click on it and distort it back. So from here, select your pen tool, and if you're having this plus icon, it means you have your caps lock on. Just click on it to have your pen tool showing. Then we are going to make a rectangle on the shape that we have done. So start anywhere you want to start and draw as seen, or as I am drawing. After you've done, click on shape to make a shape for you, and we can turn off the first one that we drew. Then move this one beneath the ellipse tool that we have, and we can increase its size if you want to. Then Ctrl J to make a duplicate. Reduce the duplicate one to something like this. Okay, then I'll change the color of the first one to this same color, but a light one like this. So from here, you can apply the same thing that we did here. I'll fast forward this part on this one so that we can move faster with this. Alright, so from here we can delete the first rectangle that we first drew and select all of these, group them, and then we can center it. After grouping them, Ctrl J to group them, Ctrl A to select all of them and center or align center like this. Okay, then with the help of our text tool, we are going to add our text. Alright, so from here you can see that we are almost there. So this one, arise and shine, so we will add end here. Draw a nice rectangle, fill with black, and add a text with a white fill. So you can see that we are almost through. A little touches. I'll go to my source file and I'll bring in the lights. which is coming to do awesome magic. Position it somewhere here, increase its size, go through your blending mode and see what best works for you. Alright, so I'll choose the last blending mode, increase its size, Ctrl T for free transform and increase its size like this. Then I'll make a copy, place it around to give it a nice effect. I can decide to decrease its size like this. So with the introduction of the light, you can see where we have gotten to now. So we are almost done, and I'll fast forward this part. I'll be just adding the text, the date and stuff for you to see, but I'll fast forward it. Alright, you enjoyed this video, didn't you? We would like to give you an interesting video like this to watch next. But before then, our team will be very happy if you can like this video, share with your friends on social media. Thank you very much. See you next time. We love you. Bye bye.